She needs to provide the child to the guardians immediately.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right. That
Your Honor,
would be on the
you're breaking up
26th.
when you just said that. I can't hear. I'm sorry. Everything's breaking up because I'm using a phone.
You are
All I
to
heard was
provide the
person
child
saying,
to
I
the
can't-
ma'am. You're to provide the child to the petitioners immediately.
Welcome to Rebel Chaser. My name is Gail, and I have an update video for you from a video I did 1 week ago today titled Crappy Mother Takes Child to Homeless Shelter and the Guardians Must Put Up Missing Posters to Find the Child. Last week, she claimed that she was in a homeless shelter with the daughter in Oregon. And now they're saying that she's actually in San Diego. And the little girl has lived in San Diego for a year with the grandmother, who was on the Zoom call last week and never said a word. I don't know. Who's lying? Where's the kid? Who knows? I'll let you watch.
Guardianship of Emma Ryan, sir. Where are we?
Your Honor, so the latest update was I spoke with opposing counsel, Mr. Gaudet, who is appearing today, I believe. I see his avatar on, and I also see Miss Ryan and my client as well. Currently, Your Honor, the latest news was that Miss Ryan was at the shelter in Tacoma with Emma. We were attempting to get Emma from there. My clients traveled there from Seaside to Oregon, which is about an 8-hour drive. They waited there for an opportunity for Emma to come out. That opportunity didn't happen, and unfortunately they had to go. At this moment, Emma is, we don't know where Emma is. We don't know where Miss Ryan is. The bottom line is the court ordered last week that she was supposed to forfeit Emma over to my client. That has not happened. I told this to opposing counsel, as he, I think, was told a different version of the facts from his client. And
No, it's not right in front of me.
Go ahead.
And I believe that he was not even of the understanding that, based on what his client said, that there was a court order violated or anything like that. I also was told to me that my client had attended the restraining order hearing for Mr. Johnson, another father of another child of Miss Ryan. And on the record, Miss Ryan had told the court that my client was not a guardian to Emma, that was not a true case. So not only do we have someone evading court order, but now is making efforts to falsify and discredit this court's rulings in other courts. So I think that's all important for the record, Your Honor. We have not made any progress as far as Emma being placed in my client's care. As I said, my client's out on a business trip, Your Honor, but they said they can be home at a moment's notice if the police or DCYF, whoever is able to
I don't know what to do from here.
get a hold of Emma. So that's where we stand right now, Your Honor.
Mr. Goodwin?
You're all right. Your Honor, so I did speak with my client yesterday after when I spoke with opposing counsel. So Emma's with my client's mother. She's on the Zoom today, Celeste Mitchell. She lives in California. She's the biological grandmother to Emma. My client showed some forms that they signed guardianship over in April, and there's orders in California. There's a restraining order protecting Emma from the Englishes. I understand that's been filed in California court.
Have you seen any of that?
Miss Mitchell did send me an email. I could forward it over. I was gonna get. I figured maybe we might want a continuance to get those in front of Your Honor and a declaration. But I think there might be also a jurisdictional issue here because no one's in Cowlitz. I believe the Englishes are in Oregon. Miss Mitchell's in San Diego, and my client's in Thurston and has lived in Thurston for over a year now. So I don't know why we're here in Cowlitz County.
Your Honor, we can address that issue.
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, Miss Ryan's last known address was in Cowlitz County. We've had no knowledge that, if she has been, living this vagrant lifestyle or in Tacoma, wherever, that may be true, but her last address that we have on record was in Cowlitz County. So, per court rules, we filed where it was appropriate. So that is the reason being that we filed here.
And Your Honor, I looked on Odyssey and I saw that Ms. Ryan had filed a protection order against Mr. Johnson. He filed a declaration on behalf of the petitioners, but that was filed in Thurston County as well in 2022.
Well, it sounds like I'm not in a position to really fault the petitioners for being a step behind her in her moves. Obviously, we have no idea what's going on in California, and I'm not in a position to accept Ms. Ryan's word for what may be going on. It sounds like we need to find out whatever the heck is happening in California, and it may be that there's a need for a CJEA conference. So, Mr. Goodday, have you got actual paperwork from the state of California?
Your Honor, Ms. Mitchell's here on Zoom. She sent me an email with a couple of PDFs. I can forward that over right now if you want to look at what we have right now, or you can, Ms. Mitchell was raising her hand. I think she wanted to address you.
Ms. Mitchell?
Good morning, Your Honor. Thank you so much for letting me speak. Emma Ryan has been living with me since April of this year.
I can't understand what you're saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me see if I can turn my volume up a bit. Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, sir. Emma Ryan, who's named after me, has been living with me since April of this year based off of a coercive abuse issue with her ex-husband. And she's doing beautifully. She's involved in school.
Ma'am, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Is there any paperwork from the state of California courts?
Yes, sir. I have an emergency protective order that covers myself, my husband, and Emma Solette Ryan against the Englishes and Jared Johnson. There's also another in Thurston County that also protects Emma Solette Ryan, as well as guardianship paper that was signed, Your Honor, and witnessed, and also is in the Superior Court of San Diego for guardianship for Emma. And all those things were sent to the attorney, and he has all of that. So she's been with me a good portion of the year, and she spends every summer with me. She has a play next week.
Yeah.
She's very involved.
Okay.
In it. Okay.
All right. So, Mr. Goodday, forward whatever you have to Mr. Flay. I'm not going to make any change in any of the orders here right now until we have a chance to see that. Mr. Flay, you want 1 week or 2?
Your Honor, this is all new information to us.
Right, clearly.
Yeah. So I think we would like an answer as soon as possible. If we can, I would ask a week. I don't think there should be any delay for opposing counsel to send us all that information as soon as possible. But I mean, if we need to file declarations, we have eyewitnesses that saw Emma in the shelter with Miss Ryan. So I do not know where that information that she's lived in California. I mean,
Yeah, well, obviously I'm as much in the dark as you are at this point. So, Mr. Goodday, forward everything you've got to Mr. Flay.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flay, yeah, I don't know where that puts us, so let's put the matter out 2 weeks.
Your Honor, may I ask that we have school records or something proving the fact that if Emma's been living there for the past year, that's in fact true? I guess I just don't really know how to.
Well, so Ms. Mitchell, do you have an attorney in California who's handling this?
I do not, sir. We've actually interviewed several. We will be, but we've already begun the guardianship. But I have her school papers. I have her records. She's
Mr. Goodday, make sure you've got all the contact information for Ms. Mitchell. Forward that to Mr. Flay as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
And November the 9th at 10:30.
And Mr. Flay, is your email on the documents that have been filed?
It would be on our notice of appearance, yes, but I've emailed your office actually twice in the past week and haven't received a response, so you should have my email address.
Respectfully, Your Honor, I'd like to make sure I can keep Emma here and keep her safe and going to school and
Okay,
in her place.
I'm not in a position to make any ruling whatsoever about what's going on in California.
So, Your Honor, just to clarify, what exists of the order as it is now?
I'm going to maintain the emergency order because I haven't seen anything that tells me I shouldn't. And that will be extended through November 9th.
So, Your Honor, just to clarify, my client will not have Emma in their care, but will be considered the emergency guardian.
Where Emma is now or is going to be, I don't know, and I'm not making any guesses at. I'm just continuing the existing emergency guardianship order.
Understood, Your Honor. Sorry, I just.
Yeah, I understand.
Thank
It's
you.
2 weeks to the 9th.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your Honor, briefly on the Ryan matter, there was, I emailed your judicial assistant since I think it was urgent for the court to know, but we did receive documentation regarding the guardianship from California. I emailed it to your judicial assistant to show to you. It does not appear, Your Honor, that it was signed by any judge, nor was in a court system at all. It's just a document written and signed by Lauren Ryan, her mother, and then 2 witnesses in the state of Oregon, which also is strange that it wasn't signed in California. So,
Okay, half a second. I just saw it here.
understood, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Mitchell, what I'm looking at appears to be just a private document between you and the children's mother and a protection order against their father that has nothing to do with the Englishes. Is that right?
No, the protection order is against Matt and Brooke English, both of who are felons who actually did this particular action, Your Honor. And it protects myself.
Okay, I'm not seeing them as respondents on a protection order. Am I missing something?
Your Honor, I looked at the protection order. They did include a section for my clients, but it was purely for civil harassment. I also think it's important to note, Your Honor, that it was filed after our minor guardianship had been filed. So it seems, I mean, we can leave the merits up to that later, but it does seem reactionary to the fact of timing when this was originally filed.
No, sir, that's not correct. The reason is the constant harassment that they did against me.
Ma'am.
I'm sorry, sir.
Well, I'm going to maintain our emergency guardianship here. I don't think this really puts us in a UCCJEA position, but it does create some issues for Mr. Flay to sort out in terms of how he's going to go about it. That, Ms. Mitchell, you need to understand that based on these documents, you don't have any sort of court established right to those children. You understand that?
Your Honor, it has been submitted to the San Diego Superior Court. I have a date on January 11th.
Ma'am,
Yes, sorry.
if there are any other proceedings going on, I strongly urge you to get those documents to Mr. Flay.
Okay.
Based on the documents that we've got here right now, you understand there is no court order that gives you any authority over those children. You understand that?
Yes, it's just one child, but Your Honor, jurisdictionally, she's been living with me for over 6 months.
Your Honor, I'm going to object to this. I think there's a credibility.
That's a different issue. I'm not addressing those issues right now. I can't address those issues right now.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you understand what those documents mean, what they don't mean. You understand?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand, but I just want to keep Emma safe. She's going to school. She's doing great. I don't want the Englishes to disrupt her life. She doesn't even know these people at
Your Honor,
all.
I'll object to this.
Never had a relationship
Ms.
with them.
Mitchell, there will be a time for a hearing if you're going to pursue it in California. Otherwise, sounds like it's going to be up here for me. So this isn't the time for that hearing, but I just want to make sure you understand where you stand legally. Right?
I do, Your Honor. However, I just want to make sure the Englishes do not try to take her.
That's where we stop. This is where we stand legally, right?
Okay.
And
And
Your
then
Honor,
the emergency protection order doesn't it doesn't mean anything to California that covers those two people from being with this child?
As I said, this is where you are right now.
Okay,
Your Honor, I
I'll
just
have
want to
my-
clarify, are we in the same position as last time, or is Emma required to be surrendered over to the care of my client?
Can't do that to her.
That's what the orders would provide at this point, but you're gonna have to go through the steps to enforce those,
Your Honor, could we,
state of California.
I guess the question is, we don't actually know that she's there. I think there's a huge credibility issue here because the guardianship document that they proposed was signed in July. Miss Mitchell's claiming she's been there since April. I guess.
I understand your conundrum. Before I put anybody under oath and ask them to tell me where the child is, there's all sorts of Fifth Amendment issues there. So I don't think I'm in a position to do that today. I'm going to sign an order extending the emergency guardianship. I'm going to make that good through November 16, and we will see where we are at on that date.
Judge, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Was a GAL ever appointed in this case?
Doesn't look like it. I'm
just wondering if that would be appropriate.
We haven't had the opportunity given Ms. Ryan's obstruction in this case. So there was really.
Unless and until we find a child somewhere, I don't think I'm gonna get that process started. We're still not far along the road here. So November 16th, and I will sign an order extending the emergency guardianship.
November 16th, Your Honor, is the next hearing date.
I'm sorry?
That will be, you said letters are extended to them, but is that also the next hearing date?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So, how many stories are there? Because last week she was at a homeless shelter with the little girl in Oregon, and now the grandmother is saying, "Oh, she's lived with me for a year." And the grandmother was on the Zoom call last week. She didn't say a word about the child living with her. And it turns out that it's not really legal. She doesn't have a legal guardianship in California. So, what's the next story gonna be? And is the child really there? I think the child's with the mom and they're on the run. And who knows where they are now. But anyway, at least we got to see what she looks like. Thank you all so very much for watching. I'll see you next time.